Hi everybody, it's really great to see so many people here today. My name's Exley and I'm National Development Officer with Scottish Community Safety Network. And for those of you who have not come across us before, we are the national interface organisation for officers and practitioners who are responsible for the development of community safety at both a local, national and private, a local and national level and a public, private and voluntary sector. So we're also the strategic voice for community safety in Scotland, and we work collaboratively with our member and partner agencies to champion community safety and influence the shaping and development of national policy and local delivery. So we're delighted to be one of the partners for today's event as we focus in on links between violence against women and girls and community safety. And as you can imagine, at SCSN, we've had a long-standing interest in what makes people safe and a curiosity about the role that various factors play in creating safe communities. And we've been especially keen in recent years to look at community safety through a variety of different lenses. So much so that in 2020, we published a significant piece of research called Experiences and Perceptions of Community Safety in Scotland. Next slide, please. Thank you. So for this research, we commissioned Robin Bailey, who was a social researcher at the Scottish Government, and this was part of the Scottish Government's Analytical Exchange programme, which we're very grateful for. So Robin took a person-centric perspective to better conceptualise community safety as a whole and look at what safety meant to different people, different groups and different communities. She did a rapid evidence review as well as analysing high-level data about personal experiences of community safety using mostly UK and Scottish data sources. It's worth noting that this research was done in 2020, so it does not take into account how experiences and perceptions of community safety have changed since the pandemic, and this is a development of the research that we would be keen to see. Next slide, please. Thank you. So for the purposes of today, it's worthwhile to focus in on what the specific findings were around women's perceptions of and experiences of safety in Scotland. So broadly, these were that women are less likely than men to feel safe alone at night, both in their local area and at home. And the statistics showed that 66% of women versus 89% of men felt safe alone at night. Less likely to feel safe alone at night. And 93% of women versus 98% of men were less likely to feel safe in their home. Women are more likely to worry about crime happening to them, especially robbing and mugging, which are twice as likely, and sexual assault, which is 6 times as likely. And as expected, this is more likely to prevent them from doing things than men. That harassment and discrimination feature prominently in women's lives, but this is often normalised and so underreported, as we know. Women are 5 times as likely to think their most recent experience of being insulted, pestered or harassed may have been motivated by their gender. And interestingly, women and men experience very similar victimisation rates for all crime types. And when it comes to women in Scotland's relationship with the police, women are more likely than men to think police are reliable, which is 68% of women versus 64% of men, and would treat them with respect, which is 91% of women versus 88% of men. Women, however, are more likely to agree that community relations are poor and that the police do not always deal with issues that matter to the community. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in general, the key findings of the research, which looked at all groups and communities in Scotland, were that fear of crime is more apparent in minority ethnic groups, LGBTQ+ communities, and for women and girls. And as you would expect, that fear of crime also has an impact on well-being, the choices people make, and can affect people's experiences of life. The research illustrated how different groups feel safe and worry about crime to different degrees. For example, and this is a long list, children and young adults, women, minority ethnic groups, people with a disability, people in more deprived areas, people on lower income households, urban areas, and victims of crime generally feel less safe and worry about crime more in Scotland. And this aligns with groups that were found to have greater victimisation rates or increased experiences of discrimination and harassment. The research also discovered that there are major data gaps, especially around young children, LGBTQ+, and gender non-conforming people, and specific ethnic and religious groups, disabilities, but importantly, the intersections of all these identities. Next slide, please. Thank you. So after publishing the research, we decided to create a short animation film aimed at community safety practitioners, but as well the wider public. And this was to try and bring our research to life. We thought an animation would be an interactive way to share our research findings, and it uses video, music, and narration. So we're pleased to share with you the animation today. It can also be found on our website, www.safercommunityscotland.org. And this animation was produced by Senate Media. Thank you. So if we could just play the animation now.
Feeling safe, whether at home, in the street, or in a workplace, is critical to well-being. Yet we all experience safety differently. Working in collaboration with researchers at the Scottish Government, the Scottish Community Safety Network has carried out research into perceptions of safety among different communities, shining a light on just how much it varies. Women, for example, are less likely to feel safe alone at night in a local area and at home than men. Lesbian, gay and bisexual people in Scotland are more likely to experience discrimination and harassment. Transgender and gender non-conforming people are disproportionately affected by sexual violence victimisation, partner physical violence and homelessness. Minority ethnic people are around twice as likely to experience discrimination and harassment, and worry about being pestered or intimidated on the basis of their ethnic origin or race. Those identifying as religious feel less safe in their local area at night, while being more worried about all crime types happening to them than non-religious people. Robbing and mugging, violent crime and sexual assault are the crimes that particularly worry disabled people. Those who have already been a victim of crime tend to think less positively about the police. Age also impacts community safety, with children, teenagers, young adults and over 65s all having different experiences and perceptions. These perceptions of safety can impact the way people live their life, with worries about crime preventing many of the groups from doing things at least a little. Our research also highlighted major data gaps on community safety in Scotland for certain groups, something population surveys will need to address in the future. Experiences of community safety, as shown by the research, are intersectional and varied, even within these broad groups. It is vital, when thinking about community safety in Scotland, that we think diversity, think fairness, and think equity.
So thanks. Hope you enjoyed that. We hope that both the research and the animation will help community safety practitioners to further their work on prevention, as well as influence policy and practice. And we especially hope that the research and animation influence our conversations about what makes a safe community and encourage everyone to look at community safety from different perspectives. More specifically for today's event, it would be good for all of us to consider if this research reflects what you are seeing within your own communities, especially since the pandemic, and of course to think about what specific actions we might take to move towards more equality of experience of community safety for women in particular. So thank you for your time today and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.